G'day, g'day. Welcome back to the channel, Ginger Ninja's Movie Reviews. I am the Ginger Ninja, and these are my movie reviews. If you're new to my channel, thank you very much for tuning in, stopping by, and checking it out. If you wouldn't mind, please do hit that thumbs up button. Be much appreciated. Helps with that whole YouTube algorithm thing. And consider subscribing to my channel. Now, you're probably wondering what it is we're doing here. Well, all through December, I am looking through a bunch of Christmas-themed horror movies or action movies. Basically, movies set at Christmas that involve action or horror. And this week we are looking at Silentbite. Now, this one just came out on Amazon Prime, so it is brand new. If you haven't seen it, there will be spoilers ahead. Now, before we get into the film, I do want to say a big thank you to all my new and existing subscribers. I'm edging ever closer to that magical 1,000 subscriber mark, so truly appreciate all your support. And once I hit that 1,000, hopefully I'll get it before the new year. I'm going to be doing a live stream with a prize giveaway as well, so keep an eye out for that, because once I hit it, I'll organize that. And the movie I will be giving away is something very special to my heart. It's one that I really like, so yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Silentbite came out this year, 2024, directed by Taylor Martin. The film stars Luke Avellino, Nick Biscopek, Simon Phillips, Michael Swatton, Sayla Degodi, and many, many more. Now, I apologize if I'm pronouncing any of those names incorrectly, but we know what I'm like with names now. Anyway, the plot. And look, I will say this now, there will be spoilers ahead. This movie is new. If you haven't seen it, you've been warned. Now, the plot. A gang of bank robbers take shelter in a motel after a Christmas Eve bank heist. Unbeknownst to them, they are not the most dangerous things seeking refuge on this cold Christmas night. Now, I do have some issues with the plot description from IMDb. Yeah, it's a little bit more into it than that. But I'll touch on that in the writing. Anyway, like I said, new film, I will be discussing spoilers. But this film seeks to combine the bank heist genre and the vampire genre in a way that's not unlike the classic From Dusk Till Dawn. But this is by no means a carbon copy of that film. It's very different in its execution and is nowhere near the quality of that film. But that doesn't mean it's a bad movie, does it? Well, that's what we're here to find out. So, let's sink our teeth into this little bit of Christmas vampire horror.
Like Big Bushy, Ginger Ninja on the prowl, smacking on pretenders with a salty caramel growl. 60-second flicks, reviews hotter than the sun. Sword master underwater battles never done. Vodka shot, steady hand, cold as ice. Critics in the crosshairs, he don't think twice. Movie scenes dissected, sliced with precision. Beard game strong, legendary vision. Ginger Ninja, barrel pristine. Voice flashing waves, no denying he's a king. Salted caramel lessons, leaves him in awe. Movie review, assassin laying down law. Ginger Ninja, barrel pristine. Voice slicing waves, no denying he's the king. Salted caramel essence, leaves him in awe. Movie review, assassin laying down law. Bear oil prepped, ready for the fight. Where the sharks afflicts, he conquers the night. From silver screens to ocean depths below, Ginger Ninja reigns, that's all you gotta know. Bear oil stash glistening in the light. Mixed vodka with knowledge crafted in sight. Shark fin haters, they scatter for sight. Ginger Ninja's wisdom, looking dynamite. Legends we crafted from tales people tell. Something caramel dreams in a vodka infused shell. 50 seconds flat, analyze it with flair. Ginger Ninja forever, ain't nobody compared.
Kicking it off with the cast, and look, this is a completely unknown cast for me at least. And they do a pretty decent job. Overall, they're not terrible. There are a few lines that are delivered in a rather poor manner, but the majority of the time, they do a really good job. You know, Luke Avellino plays the nerdy computer geek well, but he also plays it almost as if his character is on the spectrum, but only sometimes, and then others not so much. It felt very awkward in that. And this guy here, Nick Biskupek, again, hopefully I'm pronouncing that name right, is very much like a budget Charlotte Copley. I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, actually, when I first saw this, I thought, this movie's got Charlotte Copley in it, what? But no, he's got his presence is very much similar to his, especially in something like District 9. So yeah, like I said, not a bad thing either. The rest of the cast do a fine job. The majority of the villains are good. You know, it's just a decent job is what they do. So now on to the directing and the writing. And look, the directing is fine. There's nothing mind-blowing about it, or the cinematography. It's just fine. You know, and that's probably one of the things I will be saying about this film. It's fine. You know, I will say that the editing felt a little disjointed. And by that I mean there were major cuts which just felt like they took you out of the film. You know, a major one, and like I said, spoils ahead. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Snowman's death. 1 minute he is alive. He's in the pool. He is with 2 girls that are vampires, and they disappear. And he's quite upset, and he's like angry. Cuts away, literally comes back, and he's face down in the pool, dead. Now there's no blood, there's no nothing. He's just dead. We know he was killed by vampires, but because we don't see it, that cut just felt wrong. You know, I mean, maybe it was because the kill happened off screen. It just felt like we've been gypped by something, maybe. But it's this almost haphazard editing that ruins the pacing of the film throughout it. And it did make a 90-minute film drag. And a 90-minute film shouldn't drag. You know, one thing the writer did really well with this one, I will say, is he avoided over-explaining the origins of the vampires, leaving just enough mystery to make them feel almost supernatural, with hints of occult symbolism, things like the room is room 666. You know, there's an inverted cross there. They've got pentagrams. You know, there's all these occult things, but they never really delve too deeply into it, which just gives you that little bit of mystery as to where they've come from. Now the effects, and with a vampire film, you would expect a lot of blood, right? A lot of gruesome kills, but look, the effects, they're very minimal. We have some blood splatters here and there, the veins around the vampire's eyes, and they're all done really well. I did really, for some reason, I don't know if it's the color contrast, red blood, white snow. It works well, it stands out. We also have some CGI use, and this is done really well. It's used minimally, and it's used to enhance the effects. It's used mostly for when the vampires are dusted, either by a silver spoon, and no, I'm not joking, or when the stun grenades go off burning the vampires. You know, the effects on the burnt hands and burnt face, they did look good. And I will put this in here in the effects. One of the major highlights of this film was the opening sequence. The opening scene is all animated, and it's a really cool animation style. It's very red, very black, so very similar to the rest of the images you see behind me, but it's stylish, it's cool. It really sets the tone for the movie. Unfortunately, setting it on a high note, it kind of dropped down pretty quickly after that. Now on to rewatchability, and look, this is a one and done for me. While it is left open for a sequel, and if a sequel was made, I may revisit it. It's just not one that I'm going to rewatch. Am I glad I watched it? Yes, of course I am. It's not a bad film, and they did a really good job with what they were given and what they worked with. It was done really well. There's just some issues that I have with the pacing and the editing, which really took me out of the film. So yeah, it just doesn't have that rewatch factor for me. So overall, the film, it stumbles in its execution, and that is its downfall. With a tighter narrative and more cohesive pacing and editing, this could have been a really tense action horror film. It could have also done with a little bit more blood and guts because, you know, vampires. But overall, it's not the worst film ever. It's just missing a few things. So what would I give it for a score? Straight down the middle of the road, this film gets a 5 out of 10. There you have it. That is my review of Silent Bite. Now, I know it is a new film, so many of you may not have seen it, but if you have, let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. And if you haven't seen it and you've checked out my review, are you going to go watch it now? I honestly think you should at least give it a chance, because maybe it works, maybe it's just me. Maybe you will enjoy it more than I did. But hey, let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. If you haven't already, please do hit that thumbs up button, it'd be much appreciated. And of course, if you've made it this far, you might as well hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I do release a new review. Obviously through December, we are doing Christmas themed movies, horror and action primarily, because I couldn't find any sci-fi Christmas horror. Or sci-fi horror, sci-fi Christmas films. Yeah, maybe that's a niche market that we need to get into. Aliens invade on Christmas. That might work. Anyway, don't steal my idea. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.
In the shadow sharp as a blade, 60 seconds in like a fast-paced raid. The energy is breaking down the plot. Vodka shots, taking aim at the big shot.